Dominic Calvert-Lewin, has joined us in the studio. Thank you very much for coming up. Is that a point gained, or did you feel that 3 might have been there for the taking? How were you in the Leeds dressing room afterwards?
I think in the end it's a point gained, but I think 3 points were there for the taking, definitely. We hung in there first half, we didn't really give them too much to go off. So second half we wanted to start on the front foot, and I thought that we did that. And then, going a goal behind is frustrating, but I think in recent weeks we've shown good resilience, good character to come back into games.
We'll take you back to the previous games over the last month or so in a moment, but talk us through your goal, because the man next to you has just compared you to Michael Jordan in hang time, which, you may want to take. That's fair praise.
It's pretty good praise, right? He doesn't want to be compared to him. But you do ever so well. Ampadu keeps it alive for you, and then you find yourself at the back post. Talk us through your movement.
I think I found it tough, to be fair. The 2 centre-halves, they were physical, and I could tell that they had instructions that when the ball was wide to get hold of me and stop me from jumping. So I tried to pick up my position offside early and come on the blind side, and thankfully Willie put a great ball in and I was there I didn't realise I jumped that high.
There you go, Air Jordan.
But I think when you're in the moment, you're kind of just watching the ball come in, and, I suppose my bread and butter, really.
Do your eyes light up when that cross comes in?
Kind of. I think everything slows down, and you just got to watch the ball and try and time it well and put the ball in the corner. Sometimes they go in, sometimes they don't, and today was a good one.
And when you sat down with us, you were saying, now, because how everything is checked, it just increases what? The nerves for you? The doubt for you?
I suppose it does.
Is it weird?
That seed of doubt, yeah. It seems like every goal you score gets checked these days, and I think when you're playing so high on the line and you're playing on the shoulders, it's difficult, and there's always a chance, isn't there, that it could be offside. So today I got the run of play.
From that angle, from a cross like that, and when a centre-forward goes up like he goes up, there's very little, I'm guessing, you can do as a defender there if he's in between the two of you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you've been probably looking at Sepp Vandenberg's position as well. You've kind of come on that blind side of Chris Adjer, and yeah, you've got your space there to do what you do best, And when I think about you, I think they're the goals that I think of, in the air and that stuff, having played against you over the years and that stuff. But it's great to see you back amongst the goals and playing well as well, mate. So.
I said to Ben, how do you stop that when someone has such a good, good aerial ability? So you try to just battle up against him, you try to stop it, but once you get up early, it is almost impossible for anybody to stop you there.
I think when I do pick up a good position and I get blindside the centre half, it is difficult for centre halves to stop it. So that's why I think we've had enough battles over the years.
He said he's kicked you a few times.
Yeah, getting hold of me and trying to stop me from doing that. So one thing I think is when you do pick up as a position, starting offside, it's difficult to defend, isn't it? Because you don't know if to drop and go with me, and then you can come round the front. So it's always a game of cat and mouse, really. But I do back myself if I do get on the shoulder to beat my man in the air. You
look like you relish the physical battle out there today, and you have done in recent weeks. So how are you feeling?
Feeling good. I think, the performances are speaking for themselves at the moment. Feeling good, feeling healthy. I think this is the fittest I've been in a long time, and I've worked extremely hard to get in this position. When you get a certain narrative around you and you're tarred with a certain brush, it's quite hard to shake it. So for me, it was always about being mentally tough and hanging in there at certain points, and just step by step, day by day, and putting performances together. And all of a sudden the tide starts to turn and you start scoring goals, and that's the life of a centre forward.
That narrative must be really hard, because it affects you personally as an individual, obviously, but at the same time you're trying to find a club as well, aren't you? So the narrative will swirl around teams who are looking at you, and you're having to try and convince them at the same time.
I suppose so, yeah, but it's all uncontrollables, and I think in football, as a player, you have to try and control the controllables. Yeah. And the moment you start letting too much of the external stuff bother you, that's when you can get yourself in a rut. But I keep my circle small, my wife, my daughter, and I'm a dad, and I think that keeps me grounded. And I just try and, I think as I've got older, more mature, stay more balanced, and don't let so much of the outside stuff concern me, and focus on what I can control on the pitch, and that's what I have been doing.
And that's confidence as well, Dominic. And trust in your body, I guess, comes from that as well, because you look like you're banging form, the goals are coming. Obviously, the odd tap in here and there, but that, when I think of you as a player, is vintage. When he headed it, we both went, you can't stop that. That's unplayable.
Yeah, you got to be. You say you got to be in there to score him, haven't you? You know?
I was going to say they do all count. Even
Listen, anyone, I could have scored that one. The one last week. They're the Chelsea one. They're the best ones, aren't they? They're the money makers.
Yeah.
But no, it's great to see you in form and feeling fit and and healthy as well, because and obviously the chat is going to be 5 goals this season, the World Cup as well. Is there a little part of you that's looking at that as well?
I mean, it's always the goal is to play for your country and represent your country at a World Cup. But for me, my job is to do as best as possible for Leeds United, and that's what I came here to do. Score goals at club level and just play my best football. And like I said before, control the controllables, and the rest takes care of itself, doesn't it?
You as a group then, and as a team, how much did that second half at Manchester City, I know you went on to lose, but how much did that comeback change things for you as a group of players?
I think you'll know there's certain moments in seasons where there's turning points, and I think that second half was definitely a turning point for us going into that tough week. And I was saying amongst the group, like we're not defined by one game, but this is a very important week, and depending on how we do this week could determine how we do going into Christmas. And I think that performance against City in the second half definitely gave us the confidence to go into Chelsea believing that we can compete at this level. I think we started the season well and then had a little wobble and we found our feet. But, we have across the board good players, top players that can compete at this level, and it's about bringing it all together and ultimately performing on a match day. And
it's weird, isn't it? Because people can look at a spell of fixtures and go, my God, they're a real tough, City, Chelsea, Liverpool as a really tough run. But they can also go the other way and galvanise you in terms of belief.
I think that's probably what's happened. And like I said before, I'm a man of balance, and I like to not get too high and not get too low. So, although it was a great week and people are singing our praises, it's important for us that this game today was a bigger game for us, because you've got to go and back it up. And if you can't win, don't lose. And we've come away with a point on the road, which I think we take it on the bus home and look forward to the next one.
And Elland Road as well. I mean, I always remember playing there. It's a fortress. You get the crowd behind you. It's such a tough place for teams to go.
Yeah, and you have to use that in your favour. I think me as a new Leeds player, feeling that atmosphere, it's been incredible. The away fans travelling as well. It's an unbelievable fan base, and you definitely feel that as players. And away teams coming to Elland Road, they're going to find it tough because we've got us and the fans behind us, and it can be a hostile place to come and play.
Thank you very much for coming up to see us. You haven't even had a shower yet. Obviously, you're still in your kit. So.
And he's got you talk about throwing flip-flops. Sliders. We were talking about throwing things and that when you lose, because we had Keith Andrews in and they throw flip-flops. I was like, well, in the old days, we used to throw sandwiches or plates, but now it's flip-flops.
Thank you very much for coming in.
Showing me.
Well done, mate. Thank you. Dominic Calvert-Lewin with us. We will let you go. There you go. Thank you.